the next big question, because time waits for no man, does it? The next question is going to be, what's next for Joshua? And,
retirement.
Well, look, listen, let's have a listen.
I disagree. Totally disagree with that.
Well, listen, I was going to say what's next for both fighters, but let's have a listen to what Anthony Joshua said on his Instagram.
Yesterday night we came up short, but look, we've got to look at all the positives. That's the mindset and that's the perspective that we have to have, a positive one, always. Look at what we've achieved in the space of 11 years. It's phenomenal. And I want to thank every single one of you that's been riding with me. What a roller coaster journey. But you know what the problem is that it's far from over yet. You know, we've done it once, we've done it twice. Doing it a third time hasn't been easy, but I believe it's something I can achieve. It's about making the right steps forward, working hard, improving, and it's got to come from here more than anything. It can't come from any external voices or influences. It's got to come from here. And it's only been a day, but when I sit back and I'm thinking, I know I got a lot of this, man. I know I got a lot of this. So yeah, just a video to say thanks for your support. Thanks for being on this roller coaster journey with me. Keep your seatbelts tight because deep, deep, deep down in here, I know we've got a lot more to bring. A lot more to bring to the game. And long may it continue. British boxing, I appreciate you. We rise up together. Let's go.
What's that about then? I mean, he wanted to record that video or something like that and played itself into the dressing room before the fight.
Yeah.
Rather than that.
Yeah.
I mean,
listen, 24 hours after the fight, I found that quite unusual, to be fair, that he was as upbeat as he was. He's not retiring. He's got no idea of...
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But you're in this fabled WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And it'll be buzzing now, won't it, of people telling you this, that and the other.
Heart of a lion, mate.
So what's gone on in there then? This fabled WhatsApp?
Yeah, no, just support. That's what they do. It's a Finchley ABC group, and the kids there, he's always been very close to them. He still trains there on a regular basis, and they're showing support.
Fantastic.
But
what's he saying?
But he's saying he's not retiring. You know, it happens. It's heavyweight boxing. He got caught. He got it wrong. He said that he got it wrong. He said it was amateur hour at some points of the fight, but he will try and come back again. He said it's becoming harder now to try and become a three-time world heavyweight champion, but it's not over yet.
Your immediate reaction before we went to the VT was retired. Yeah. Why are you taking that course of action?
I thought, what's the one? What's the one?
He just lost a British fighter,
Olympic,
a legacy fight.
You just lost. So you're Olympic gold medalist, World Championship silver medalist. You've become unified champion of the world twice. You've been a pay-per-view star for the last 7 years. He's got hundreds of millions in the bank. He's aligned to some of the biggest brands that this boxing's ever seen. We didn't have these brands before.
That's money. That's money.
So you're okay. So I've always said, get in, get rich, get out.
Sure.
He's got in. He's got all the accolades you could want. Undisputed isn't going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you've already become a world champion. That's fine. British champion, European champion, Commonwealth champion. You've made a bucket load of money. You've changed the sport.
But you know him very well.
Yeah.
And I know people around him that know him very well, are very close to him. There is a component part which makes guys make a lot of money. I made 100 million quid. People have made lots of money. Frank Warren's very successful. Anthony Joshua is a poster boy for British boxing. Whether you agree that he's the best that's ever been around is a different discussion. Yeah. There's a driving component part about him, which is the pride, the success, the achievement. The money comes, right? And sometimes it softens people. It takes away their edge, takes away their desire. Right? But he went into a ring in front of 96,000 people with a British heavyweight and got battered. And that's the legacy that Anthony Joshua will have to look behind him in his rearview mirror and go, is that the lasting image? Because that will be the lasting image. And he can look at his bank balance and he can look at the reality of how wealthy he is. But surely the driving part that's put him in the ring in the first place, that brought him back from the brink where ultimately he had a meltdown after Usyk because he couldn't cope with the fact that he was beaten again and he had to rehabilitate himself, put him in the way of all the different slings and arrows and all the challenges of expectation. He's gone in there and disappointed himself beyond belief. Disappointed those around him, suspect, in terms of the 96,000 fans. I don't think he retires because I don't think he can live with himself.
He will stay on, but he's got to look at it. And I think AJ said there's more to come and there's better to come. And look, boxers, I think, and I say this with all due respect, because I think you have to be slightly delusional to even get in the ring because it's the craziest sport in the world for me. I look at it and think, I watch it ringside and think these guys are crazy. So there's going to be a part of delusion where he thinks, I can get better. And I know AJ ticks, you've seen him train, he ticks every single box. Yeah. Preparation for this fight would have been absolutely through the roof.
But it's here again.
It's here again. Yeah. And I don't know if you can change that. I really don't. And ultimately, and I'm a good friend of AJ's, but ultimately, he won 10 seconds of that fight. This wasn't a Hagler Hearns that it's been portrayed as
it wasn't. No, he
by
was battered.
Frank and Eddie. Well, it wasn't that at all. He won 10 seconds, and if he were to go straight for the rematch, like he has done, this isn't Andy Ruiz. No. Andy Ruiz, after the rematch, went partied and ballooned up another 30, 40 pounds. Daniel Dubois is going to be super on it again. He's going to be even more confident. He was walking to the ring confident before. He's going to be skipping to the ring this time. I just don't see what the want is anymore.
Do you know what?
But he hasn't got a rematch.
No.
That's been established.
But if they say to Dubois, rematch, he's taken it at a heartbeat, and so is Frank.
And
it's the biggest fight you can take.
And he said that, Dubois said that.
Oh, so he said
it on the radio this morning. He said earlier on today,
I think
bring him on and I'll do it even better next time.
Did he say that?
I think what gets to AJ is the fact that what he's done for the sport of boxing, how he's transformed boxing, British boxing for sure, you know, and how he's inspired millions of kids getting into the gyms, etc., etc. That is a big thing on its own, right? Outside of boxing, he's done that, right? And he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. He definitely doesn't get the respect that he... No, his bank balance does. But with him right now, what's his driving force right now?
When you say that, he doesn't get the respect.
He doesn't.
From who?
From the public.
No,
rubbish.
It's a loud...
That's not rubbish.
It's a loud minority.
Everyone's jumping down his neck. Everyone's giving him...
Spence, it's a loud minority. Spence, everyone gets it.
Come on.
Everyone gets it.
Come on, mate.
You do not in life get unlimited deference, right? What he's got is the recognition and reward. He's Anthony Joshua, that everybody knows. His name is on everybody's lips. The expectations of him are so high because of the standards that he set. The major brands that have aligned with him recognise the fact that he is not just a boxer, but he transcends boxing. So you can't, and then you've just made a case for the fact that
but
what you want is eternal deference.
No, what's that got to do with it? No, not at all.
People get criticism, Spence.
Listen, I know they do. But what I'm saying is, like, he doesn't get the respect. He doesn't get the respect that he deserves.
From
is
who?
What I'm saying. From the public, and you can't say that. Just look around.
You got 96.
Listen to the people.
Spencer,
listen to the people.
Me backwards. You had 96,000 people in the arena.
Have a look at that he's taking right now online.
You had Spencer.
No,
it's bollocks.
It is, but who doesn't get it?
It's
bollocks.
Spencer.
Does everyone get it?
You did not have...
Is it just all... Does everyone
Did you have...
That's the mentality of the public, the British mentality. That is always the way it is. Build them up, knock them down.
Spencer,
that happens.
Did you have 96,000 people in that auditorium wanting Anthony Joshua to lose?
Did Fury get the same after losing to Usyk?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
And Fury got a backlash about his behaviour, his attitude, his outlook, his disposition.
Okay, 1 second. And I hate to do this because, again, I feel like I'm picking sides here. Fury lost to Usyk.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different backlash from losing to Usyk, who we know is a generational, absolute,
Fury also
all-time
lost to
great.
Ngannou, by the way.
Yeah, that's a different debate. It's different to losing to Dubois, where AJ walks in as a massive favourite.
But you're
going to get a bit of stick, Ben.
I totally understand that. I'm not saying that he shouldn't get stick, but what I'm saying is that he should also get the respect that he deserves.
He should get the love.
And he should get the love, and he will continue, and he will still try and...
Again, you've got to be objective rather than subjective, because criticising Anthony Joshua, saying that he might be in a situation where PTSD kicks in, it's not criticism, it's an observation. It's not lack of respect, it's an observation. Suggesting that Anthony Joshua is accountable for his performances, not criticism, but statements of fact. Ultimately, you look at it and say, here's a young man that's achieved so much through boxing, has such demand, this was a homecoming. I felt sorry for Daniel Dubois. He's the champion.
Do you think AJ should retire?
I don't know. I think that he's got to do whatever he wants to do, whatever he believes he should do, not what other people should tell him.
No, but I'm asking you though. I'm asking you what you think.
On both of you, before you answer, if he won on Saturday, how long do you think he was going to last in this sport anyway? Like, I honestly thought even if he won, there's only a couple of fights left for AJ anyway.
100%.
So he lost. And I'm just removing those two fights.
Yeah.
That's all it is. He lost, and he lost badly. So I'm like, okay, forget those two more that you wanted, Usyk and Fury. Call it. Why can't fighters just walk away like this?
Yeah,
because that's what it fights.
That's the boxing is steeped in that history.
It is.
That is a fact.
And I want someone to walk away with all the faculties.
I know what you're saying.
And just be okay.
I mean, I got David Hay. I did, one of those.
He wants to come back. I saw.
Yeah, 43 years of age, thinks he can come back.
He said, if my legs work, if my legs work.
Maybe he's drawing some attention to himself.
Yeah.
But I look at it and turn around and say, if Anthony Joshua thinks that the performance... I can't work out what happened.
Do you think he should retire, or do you think there's another avenue?
It's never the physical attributes, because it's never been that question. I can't work out what happened from Friday evening to walk into that dressing room. Something disconnects from walking out into that environment. Whether it's the pressure of expectation, something changed.
Understood.
Because really and truly, Anthony Joshua has all the equipment to be able to deal with Daniel Dubois.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And there's this disconnect between something that happened there, not something that happened here. And all of it channeled into an outcome. Do I think he should fight again? If he can live with the potential ramifications of an opportunity to be amongst the immortals, and I don't care what Carl Froch says about that, because if you win the heavyweight championship in the world 3 times, wherever you win it, you're a 3-time heavyweight champion in the world.
100%.
You go up there with Lennox Lewis, you go up there with Evander Holyfield, and you go up there with Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, forget
the end
opponents
of the discussion.
and
So if he can live with not achieving that, if he can live with his last fight being demolished in front of 96,000 people by a British fighter, then he shouldn't fight again. If he can't, then he has to fight again.
Can he in a rematch? Because that's what he always does. We know AJ always goes straight back in with his opponent. Did it with Ruiz, did it with Usyk. Can he beat Daniel Dubois in a rematch?
That's the question.
But that is the $1 million question.
Can he?
Well, you're going to say
difficult.
yes, Spencer.
No, I'm going to do you, Simon. I'm going to sit on the fence on
No,
this
I
one
don't
and
sit on
say,
the fence.
well, it depends how.
That's one thing he doesn't do is sit on the fence.
No, I don't sit on the fence.
He does in certain situations, mate. Trust me.
Okay.
No, can he beat Daniel Dubois? I think that tactically,
If he turns up,
it's always going to be a difficult fight because at the stage of their careers where they're at, AJ will be 35
now you
years
think
of
it's going
age.
to be a difficult
Daniel,
fight.
No,
Last week you
Daniel
thought it was going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah, no, but now the events have happened. And you see that the manner that Daniel Dubois won that fight, you look at that and go, "Wow!"
All right.
Like,
so by that logic,
this is
by that logic, Carl
it's going to be
Froch
very
would never
difficult.
beaten George Groves, and
What do you mean?
And Chris
What do you mean?
would never beaten Liam Smith.
What do you mean?
Because you're basically saying what you've seen in the first fight determines the second fight. You normally see the second fight replicating the
Well,
first
it's
fight.
going to be
just give you 2 examples where it doesn't.
It's going to be very difficult for Anthony Joshua to reverse that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not saying he can't do it, but I say it's going to be very difficult.
He's so happy he got it out of you. He's so happy he got it out of you.
Although Froch won the first fight, I have to say. You should have picked me up on that. The Chris Eubank was a better example. But I do think that Anthony Joshua, and again, I don't want to discredit Daniel Dubois because I think he's done brilliant. I'm very pleased with him. I mean, I remember reading an article 4 years ago written by Jeff Powell telling everyone that this was the future. Not Joshua, not Fury, this guy. Then you had the Joe Joyce situation, and on from that.
Can I ask you just quickly, sorry, what is the roadmap for Anthony Joshua? If he comes back, do you think he needs to go straight back into the immediate rematch?
Straight in.
Yeah.
Because there's no rebuilding process here, right?
Forget the rebuilding.
He hasn't got a rematch.
But yeah, I know he hasn't. Yeah. I know he hasn't. I spoke to Frank about that. There's no rematch.
It's just a qualified space on the Riyadh season. Yeah. So there's a fight to be made there, and they'll take it.
Yeah.
They'll be. If they want it, they'll take it.
Here's where we're at. Daniel Dubois is not fighting till next year, right? So that's him. So I spoke to Frank about this. Daniel Dubois will likely be out again next year. That leaves Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury is obviously boxing for the unified now. With that, Daniel Dubois, the IBF champion, so that could leave Daniel in a position of fighting the winner of that.
There is a Riyadh
for the
season
undisputed
space,
again.
February,
and then where does that leave?
In February, there's a space which His Excellency hoped would have been filled with Terence Crawford versus Canelo, which isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So there's a space for a super fight in February.
There you go.
Yeah, but
that would be too soon.
Is Fury Usyk going to jump out December 21st?
No, that's too soon.
No, I'm talking AJ Dubois rematch February.
Right.
Do you see AJ with a Deontay Wilder type now? Is that a possibility? Could we see that sort of fight next? As soon as?
I hope not.
No, I'm with you on it
He's
as
not
well.
going to get any credit for that fight.
No, I know he's not.
Everyone
I know he's not. I'm just saying. That's why I was asking the roadmap. What do you think he does? Straight into the immediate rematch.
I think that is his path.
That's his option.
Where else is he going to go?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I've heard people say Dillian White and Martin.
No,
McCollum,
forget that. Forget
which
that.
is a nightmare for him right now.
He has to look for the
Daniel
rematch.
Dubois.
Yeah.
Where do you think? No, not where do you think. Do you think that what you saw from Daniel on Saturday evening would beat Usyk or Fury?
I saw an improving fighter, and he's improving at a rapid rate. And them guys are getting older, and they're slowing down. And Daniel's getting better and getting stronger. So to answer your question, in another 6 months, in another 12 months, when that fight could possibly happen, he's got a great shot, man. Definitely.
Great
100%.
Yeah, great shot.
I mean, that I'm talking about a real... That you're going into that as a 50-50.
You're aging them past their best. And they're on that slope that way, and he's going that way. And he's got the confidence of someone that, as you say, is 100% fighter of the year. So, he can beat both of them.
How things change so very quickly.
The landscape of heavyweight boxing.
Again, I suspect.